The reaction has been insane. Her advertisers were listed and called and hassled and harassed about how horrible a person she is, and they began dropping from her program like flies. She issued an apology for the tweet, but that wasn't good enough, and the Twitter rage mob continued until eventually Ingraham announced that she's taking some time off for the show. Now, I know that they said it was a week vacation and after Easter, and I know maybe it was pre-planned, maybe it wasn't, but bottom line is that she's not on air this week. Now, in the aftermath, many are asking, what kind of precedent does this set? I mean, the tweet that Ingraham sent, I mean, it wasn't necessarily kind. I mean, particularly if we're, in the face of what has been brutal unkindness from a lot of individuals. But was this the catalyst? I mean, that was what started all of this concerted effort to destroy her program, her livelihood, and the livelihoods of all of those that work for her. Now, can you imagine if I tried to do that with everybody that sent me an insult on Twitter? I'd barely be able to do anything else. It's an unreasonably over-the-top response to what has happened, and it should concern everyone. And I don't want to hear the arguments about how, well, that's how the free market works. Look, as a member of the free market, I am perfectly fine. I am fine by saying that this is just a really horrible way to deal with people with whom you disagree. It's bad. This is a fascistic tactic that adults are none too happy to inflame. See, the fact is when you're in a position in which you can destroy anybody that just mildly offends you because you happen to have a large Twitter following, where does it stop? I mean, honestly, social media has democratized influence, and that can be a great thing, and has been for the most part. But now we've reached this point where your blue check and your follower count can be used as a weapon to silence any critics in ways that just simply cross lines that I'm not comfortable with. But I know, right? I'm Justina Loesch, the evil woman from 101 Dalmatians. My opinion is all based on fear, right? That it'll be done to me? Yeah, because that's funny. This is done to me all the time. Every day this is done to me, and I'm still standing. But you don't have to take my word on this. Check out Brian Stelter. This is a guy over at CNN who just recently admitted that he's been allowing false statements to go unchallenged on his program. It's almost like he may have helped create the problem.
Are ad boycotts the right answer here? I'm personally pretty wary of this. I think it's dangerous to see these ad boycott attempts happening more and more often in this country. My view is, let's not shut down anyone's right to speak. Let's meet their comments with more speech. Let's try to respond that way.
Yeah. Stelter is not alone. I mean, they know that, yes, it could be them next, and suddenly it's not so funny anymore. Here's the thing. One quick point about this is he says, let's meet their speech with more speech. But that's the thing. In order to meet speech with speech, you have to have something to talk about. You have to have a point. You can't just use ad hominem as some sort of substitute for informed dissent. That is the problem. People don't want to meet speech with more speech because they don't have anything to say. They don't want to meet speech with more speech because more speech means more of them talking, and it means that they actually have to articulate their views and make a point as to why they believe what they believe, and you should agree with them on what they believe. That is why you don't see speech that is disliked by progressives met with more speech. They simply want to silence it because in the public square of ideas, they know that their speech will not be enough to convey and influence and persuade, which is why they instead choose to silence people. So here's a suggestion. Maybe don't cower. Keep talking. Bring the people on, Brian, specifically you, bring the people onto your shows that are doing this. And for goodness sake, challenge them for once. I mean, they might attack your sponsors, and that would be a crying shame, but I'm betting that, like me, you can survive it. And then maybe people will start wondering if it's worth busting out the torches and pitchforks every single time someone with a blue check tells them to.